Hi, this is Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles coming at you with another toy review. This time we're taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael figure, and this is from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy line from Playmates, and this is from 1988. So the first thing we're going to do is take a closer look at the figure. Alright, so taking a look at Raphael. So, I mean, when you look at this figure, if you were a kid that grew up at all in the 80s or 90s, you knew this toy line, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy line from Playmates. And these guys were extremely popular. I mean, it's, you know, because of the cartoon show, everybody had these toys. So, Raphael is actually my favorite Ninja Turtle, so I figured with this toy line I'd start with him. And he looks fantastic. So each of the original turtles, they actually have a different skin color hue. So when you look at Raphael compared to Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, they all have a little bit of a different pigmentation in their skin. When they originally released these figures, they actually were not sure if the toy line was going to sell real well. So they actually released some figures that actually what a lot of people and collectors refer to as soft-headed figures. And those are the more highly sought after and collectible figures. Now this guy is a hard head. His head is made out of hard plastic. But you're probably wondering, what do you mean by soft head? And here we have Splinter, and I can squeeze his head. You can see how his head is squeezing. I can move it. This is a soft-headed figure. This was the first release. They basically weren't sure if the toy line was going to sell correctly, so for cost measures, they made a cheap rubber head, and it cut down on the cost. And when they realized that they were going to start mass-producing these things, then they started pumping them out with the harder plastic. So as far as collectors are concerned, you're really looking for the soft-headed figures, especially in the package. They can go for an astronomical amount of money. Alright, so taking a look at this guy. So he came with a little belt. This belt can come off. Sometimes it can be a pain in the butt. The little nub is actually in the center of the R if you wanted to pull that off, but I'm not going to. Sometimes it's just a pain in the butt to get it back on. And he came with his 2 size. He also came with I don't even know what you call this, another ninja weapon. He also came with this like almost pizza slice looking cutter. He also came with another little cutter that was very similar to that slicer, that just had a handle, and it had a big blade and 2 small blades on the side, but it was very small. And he also came with 2 ninja stars, but I am missing a couple of the weapons. And with the ninja stars, they were extremely small, you know, smaller than the little circle that's on his belt. So they were very small. So most people have lost that unless you have the original package. But with Raphael, he actually has it where you can hold a secondary weapon as well as his nunchucks. And the other turtles, you don't see that. So you can actually see that he's actually got the little pizza cutter type knife. He's got a slot where he can put that in there, which I always liked about Raphael. And then he's got a size, so you just pull his size out and you put him in his hand. Pretty straightforward. We'll get this guy done. You just pop him in there. And then boom, he's all set to go. Now articulation with these figures, they did move at the shoulders. They rotate at the forearm, which I thought was nice, and at the right at the forearm. And then same thing on the other side. And then his head turned, and then his legs turned. So it's nice that they actually did that forearm articulation, because you don't see that in figures, especially in the 80s. And then they actually added more and more articulation as the toy line progressed, and some of the other figures have a little bit more of articulation. And then just for size comparison, here we have Raphael next to Donatello and Rocksteady from the original Turtles toy line. So you can see the height difference. All the Turtles were basically the same size. They were molded differently. You can see how he's got his little tie in the back. Raphael has it more off on the side. There's subtle differences in each one, but the main reason I want to put another turtles here is you can see that Donatello is a much different pigmentation of skin than Raphael is. So you can see Raphael's a really bright green, and we have Donatello as that darker green. And then you can see how much bigger Rocksteady is in the figure toy line. They didn't have, these toys weren't super huge. I mean, you can see that they're pretty small looking figures, but Rocksteady and, you know, some of the villains were a little bit taller. The turtles were the smaller in the toy line, but, you know, like I said, Raphael is my favorite Ninja Turtle. This is my original turtle that I had when I was a kid, so this guy's well played with and well loved. One of my, you know, top 5 toys, you know, that I still have, and I love this guy. And a fantastic toy line, one of the top toy lines when I was a kid. I mean, everybody had Ninja Turtles. I play with Ninja Turtles all the time, and I absolutely love these guys. But once again, this has been Jason with Violator Comics and Collectibles. Any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time.